We're live here today.
We are live on Facebook. Welcome to the Grand Connection Network. Susan and I host this event every 2 weeks on Fridays at 11:30 a.m. And we are super excited and honored to have Judy Carter join us on July 17th. She will be zooming in from Venice Beach, California. And Judy has been interviewed by Oprah Winfrey after writing her first book, Stand-Up Comedy, the book. She has written 7 books. She went from playing in Vegas as a headlining stand-up comic to become an in-demand corporate speaker, speaking on the power of purpose to overcome stress and navigate change. She was featured in the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and CNN. She's turning problems into punchlines, and she became one of America's top stand-up comics, performing and teaching comedy internationally. Her students include Seth Rogen, Maz Jobrani, and Hannah Gadsby. And Susan,
and me,
you took one of her courses, right?
I took one of Judy's courses around 5 years ago here in Vancouver. It was with Toastmasters. It was a great group, and we had so much fun. We learned about writing the message of us ourselves, and then we also learned how to add humor into our talks. And Judy, it was amazing. Now, a lot of our group members here, we are out in the new platforms. We're on Zoom. We're introducing ourselves in different places, and we thought it would be very important for us to learn to do a 60-second pitch that will wow people, something that's memorable and that it gets us business. And you are kindly coming here, and we're so grateful to talk to us. Can you tell us more about how this is going to help our group?
Well, you know, in all of these Zoom groups, everybody introduces themselves. And you know you're not listening to anybody, right? Because who do you care about? Yourself. What am I going to say? What am I going to say? Uh-oh. And it's your turn. And if I was to ask you, what are other people doing? What you would go like, I don't know. I just care about myself and what I'm saying. And for that reason, especially online where everybody has to introduce themselves, people are really not taking advantage of doing, one of the most important 60 seconds of your day, because there is a way to do it, even if you have 25 people introducing themselves, to be absolutely memorable and to use it where afterwards people go like, oh, how do I get in touch with you? I'd like to buy your books. You do coaching? Can you help me? And I have used this technique when I'm like an entrepreneur networking group. And there's some very important aspects of it, like you should never go first, okay? Because you really want to read the room. And then you want to adapt what you say to your listening of the people there and what they need, because many of you, I know you're author of books, you want to sell them, you have other products you want to do, you have services that you offer, you have coaching that you do, and every time that you say what you do, there's a way to do it in such a compelling way that people rush you afterwards.
Oh, I want to know this.
Well, I have to tell you, I did this on a plane. All right. I'm a speaker, and I have spoken all across the world, actually, because that's the best thing about being a speaker. First of all, especially for a woman, is that they pay you to talk. And generally, they don't interrupt you. And you get to yakety yak. And the end of it, there's a big fat check waiting for you. I mean, And on top of that, you get to travel all over the world. For instance, when this has been my new life until, before COVID, but I found a way to adapt that as well and make money from, even though people aren't having live meetings, because there is a way to get paid for doing webinars. So what I've done is I'll go to Vancouver, I'll do a talk there. I think I've done several times the Pacific Dental Conference, and then see ya, off to Whistler. So, so I've been using that. Matter of fact, my book, another thing is speaking, if you have books to sell, what a great, that's why I got a deal with Simon and Schuster, Random House. And my last book, The Message of You, is published by St. Martin's Press, because here's my new book, which is called The New Comedy Bible, and the workbook. Now, when I do corporate, these are really for people who want to be funnier, and not most people in corporate, they might think their job is a joke, but they don't want to let it go. I no longer want to work for Royal Canadian Bank. I want to be a stand-up comic. But no, that's not what happens. But when you speak, they want a piece of you afterwards. So you sell a lot of books. And not only that, but when I spoke in Hong Kong, look at this. This is the Comedy Bible. You can see it right there in Mandarin.
Wow.
So this is the New Comedy Bible, whoops, in Russian.
Wow.
Wow.
So and this is in English. But what a great life is that I have gone throughout the world publishing my book in all sorts of places, Australia, and speaking there, and using speaking to travel. So I feel like some say it's a career. I kind of call it a scam, because how could it be so fantastic?
You have a great career, and
it's amazing. So
and you have this story you're going to share with us on
Yes.
on how this pitch, this 60-second intro, like, netted
Yeah.
you a great big deal, right?
Yes. So obviously I want to get speaking gigs. That's what I want. And I've never really had a job. I was a stand-up comic turned speaker. So I have to meet new people in order to get work. And it's not just all on the internet. And certainly after COVID is over, this will come back. But this works online or in a plane. So I'm in a plane, and the woman next to me asks, as it happens all the time, this simple question: what do you do? What do you do? And the way I answered that question netted me, I figured it out, a total of $160,000 US dollars.
US dollars. I was going to say, because that's way more. That's bumping up to 200 Canadian.
Canadian, maybe I could buy a sandwich with that, but in the US, it's really
That's
great.
awesome.
So
that's completely awesome.
Well, we
And
want our
gonna
group to
show
learn
us
how to do this, Judy. So
Yes,
we're
well,
so grateful.
it so happens that she worked for the U.S. Naval, the civilian department of admin who worked there. And the way I pitched myself to her, I got immediately, she says, oh my God. And I got to tell you, it's 60 seconds, people, 60 seconds. She said, oh my God, you're perfect for us. You're perfect for us. Do you have a card? Can I give you my card? Okay, so I do a gig for her. She refers me to the Air Force, to the Army. And so this one gig led to so many other gigs, totaling $160,000 of gigs. And I really narrowed it back to this one encounter on a plane. And as the way I answered this question, what is it that you do? And I said, Well, you're going to have to come to your webinar, right? To Carolyn and
Absolutely.
Susan's webinar. Well, I'm going to show you exactly how to answer that question. Well, what do you do in a way that's so compelling? And actually, this was featured in Forbes this last week. A lot of people call this an elevator pitch, but it's a combination of using skills in comedy and other philosophies. You'll have to see what goes into it by coming to this webinar. Don't miss it.
Absolutely. And for everybody watching this Facebook Live, mark your calendars for July 17th at 11:30 a.m. until 1, and join us to find out exactly what Judy did on that airplane. She's going to show us how to structure the whole entire process, how to set it up, how to understand, to create that dynamic 60-second pitch that rocks. So Judy, like, we're so excited to have you. And I just thank you, and so does Susan, for taking this time to hang out with us on Facebook Live.
And
Zoom. Did you want to say anything else, Susan?
No, I'm just thankful, Judy. Let's we can't wait for the 17th.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Be there. And you know, it's not a complicated thing, but it is a very specific, I would call it, it's based on my book, The Message of You. Those of you who have it probably have a little hint on how to do this, but it is called The Message of You Formula. And it's the way to answer the simplest questions in the most compelling way.
Awesome. So thank you. Thank you. Be there, register for our event at the Grand Connection Network, Thank you.
Signing off. Okay.